420, if you guys know what that means. Welcome to ABC Yoga. I'm Amy, my partner Bill in the background. The cats are a little wild this morning, so they'll probably join us. But let's start this morning on our backs with a beautiful stretch. Reach those arms overhead. Spread your fingers wide, spread your toes wide. Feel some constriction in the body for 3. Squeeze for 2, last breath in, and relax your arms alongside the body. Just energetically coming into the space. Gently rock your head side to side. Soften those shoulders away from your ears. And just take a quick body scan here on the ground. Just weaving back and forth. Surrendering to the earth. Which reminds me, it is Earth Week. And while you all are relaxing in Shavasana, a quote this morning from David Attenborough. It seems to me that the natural world is the greatest source of excitement, the greatest source of visual beauty, the greatest source of intellectual interest. It is the greatest source for so much in this life that it makes it worth living. So let's take another breath in here. Let it go. And bend both knees, hug them into your chest. And let's draw our forehead towards our knees, lengthening the back of the neck. Again, draw those shoulders away from the ears. And then we'll take our head and shoulders back on the floor, cactusing our arms out to the side. Let's take our knees to the left. Relaxing that lower back area. And we can take the gaze over the right shoulder. See if your forearms and back of your hands can connect with the floor. So both shoulders connecting with the earth. We'll inhale those knees back to center and take them in the opposite direction. You can take your gaze over that left shoulder. Find the breath in. Gentle out through the nose. And we'll take those knees back to center and have happy baby. So reaching for the inner arches of the feet, just gently rocking side to side. Feeling the contact on the back body. Relaxing the face, swallow a few times. And then we'll draw our knees together and now rock backwards and forwards. 2 or 3 rocks. You can cross your ankles and find your way onto your hands and knees. Hands directly underneath your shoulders. Knees underneath your hips, just rock your hips side to side. We'll tap the tops of our feet awake and then press the shins into the earth and then finding our cat-cow. So we exhale all the air out, tail tucks under, crown of the head reaching towards the floor. Then inhale, reach that heart forward, open up those collarbones, eyes high. On an exhale, we draw that navel in towards the spine. Let the head be nice and loose. Feel everything connected to the floor. Press the palms, the shins into the earth. 2 more, inhale. Riding that breath. Exhale, we pull the navel to the spine. Lift that back body. 1 more inhale. Enjoying that breath. Exhale, navel to the spine, rounding that back body. Then that left hand comes in the center of the mat. We reach the right hand high, tuck the thumb in, wrap the fingers around. Let's open up the wrist, twist in one direction. And then we'll take twist in the other direction. Then spread those fingers wide and scoop that right hand under. We'll thread that needle. Take the right ear to the floor, walk the left hand towards the top of the mat. You can tense your fingers, and use some light pressure on those left fingertips to maybe gaze under that left shoulder. Still finding the connections of your shins rooted. Steady breathing in and out through the nose. And then that inhale, we ride that right hand high. And then we'll take that right hand in the center of the mat. Left hand lifts, tuck the thumb in, wrap the fingers around, wrist twists in one direction. We missed you last week, Becky. And then we'll change direction. And we spread those fingers wide, thread the needle. Left arm scoops under, left ear to the mat. We walk the right fingers to the top of the mat. You can tense the fingers. Again, some light pressure on the fingertips to maybe gaze under that right shoulder. Noticing what's connected to the floor, tops of the feet root. Find all 10 toenails connecting to the floor. Beautiful. We take another inhale. Exhale the air completely, then ride that breath. Left hand reaches high. Gorgeous. Then we lower that left hand down. So hands directly underneath your shoulders, rooting through the forefinger and thumb, but spreading that pressure out throughout the fingers. So tops of the feet root, working on some core. We're going to hover those knees a couple inches off the mat, opening up the tops of the feet, shoulders directly over the wrist creases, navel in and up towards the spine. Take another breath in. We lower the knees down, bump the hips side to side. Round number 2. Tops of the feet root. We hover those knees. Engage that navel to the spine. Lift the back body another inch. Building strength, straighten through those arms. Another breath here. Beautiful. We lower those knees down. Bump the hips side to side. Last time. So coming back to neutral, tops of the feet root. Hover those knees. Imagine squeezing those knees towards one another, how that engages the core a little differently. We're breathing here. Lift the back body another inch. Last 2 breaths. Last full inhale. Roll over the toes. And let's walk our hands towards the back of the mat. Feet at least hips distance apart. So a deep bend, everyone, this morning in those knees. If you can draw your chest on your thighs, find that connection. Find opposite elbows or support your hands, tent those fingers. Just finding that forward fold. So all of the thoughts are ready this morning. Just see if you can allow them to come out of your head. Clear the head. Come to your breath. So the next 60 minutes, the yoga practice is really all about the breath, in and out through the nose. And we'll release our hands, the elbows. And this time we'll interlace the hands behind the back body. Use a strap. We'll find that halfway lift. Pull the hands away from the back body. Soften the knees again. Forward fold. Feel that beautiful stretch in the shoulders. We'll take a deep bend in that right knee. Bring your chin towards the right shin. Spread the toes wide. And then we take a deep bend in the left knee. Chin towards the shin. And then come back to neutral, back to center. We find that halfway lift. Opposite thumb on top. Breath in. Hinge from the hips, forward fold. So finding that area of resistance in the shoulders, back off a little bit, shake out any tension in the head or neck, and notice where the weight is in the feet. Are you hanging out in the balls of the feet or in the heels? See if you can find the 4 corners of the feet, the big toe, little toe, inner and outer heel. We take one more breath in here. Exhale the air completely, release the hands, walk the hands forward to our first high plank. So give yourself a wide stance, feet hips distance apart, Shoulders over the wrist creases, navel is engaged, breath is steady. Couple more breaths here, gaze a couple feet in front of you. Now let's lift the back body 2 inches. Engage all the muscles. Look like you're gazing over a cliff edge, and we'll lower slowly. 5 counts to the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. We untuck our toes and tops of the feet root, and then we'll find our Sphinx pose. So forearms are rooted, elbows directly underneath your shoulders, navel is engaged. Feel those toenails, warming up that lower back body. And we'll just bring the chin towards the right shoulder. And please take it in the opposite direction. And back to neutral, chest to the floor, hands in line with the chest. We tuck our toes under, press through high plank. Beautiful downward dog on the exhalation. Please lift that right leg high. And we'll step it forward into our warrior 1. Ride that breath all the way up. Soles of the palms press together. That deep bend in the right thigh, working on that 90-degree bend. Can you straighten through those elbows? Another breath in. Exhale, hands to the floor. Will you get the Roomba? It's a Roomba. High to low plank. Cobra or upward dog. Sorry for the noise. Downward dog. Exhale. Left leg lifts. And we find our warrior 1. Ride that breath all the way up. Soles of palms to get pressed together. That's our Roomba, our little vacuum going off early. Jeez. Take another breath in. Exhale, hands to the floor. Left leg back. High plank to low plank. A cobra or upward dog. Downward dog. Exhale. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Keeping your head in line with your arms. We externally rotate the shoulders so they're rolling away from your ears. Your heels are drawing closer to the floor. Your toes turn in just slightly. Lifting through those sits bones. Imagine your spine is elongating. Let's take one more full breath in here. Exhale the air completely. Let's just, you can hop or just walk to the top of the mat. We find that halfway lift, forward fold, inhale, ride the breath all the way up. Soles of the palms connect. We'll cactus our hands, lift the heart. Inhale, arms high, and forward fold, Uttanasana. Take your time. Halfway lift. Step or jump those feet back, high to low plank. Elbows hug in. Beautiful. A cobra or up dog. Downward dog. Exhale. Right leg lifts. We find our warrior 1. All the way up. Soles of the palms maybe connect, eyes towards the thumbs. And then we release our hands to the mat, right leg back. Take your time cycling through your vinyasa, cobra or up dog, downward dog. Exhale. Left leg lifts. We find our warrior 1 and rise. Connect those palms, possibly straighten through those elbows and release them to the mat. Left leg back, high to low. Cobra or up dog. We'll meet in downward dog, pause and breathe. Enjoying that breath. Imagine with each inhalation, the internal body is expanding. On each exhalation, you're softening, letting go, relaxing the body so it can open. We take another full breath in. Let it go. Bend the knees. Walk or hop to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Fold forward. And let's find our chair. Drop those hips. Our heart is lifted. We spin those pinkies towards that inner line. Draw the shoulders back into the sockets. Squeeze those knees and drop a little deeper. 2 more breaths here. Squeeze energetically those knees together. Can you lift those arms a little higher? Tuck the tail under and drop those hips a couple more inches. Beautiful. Last full inhale. Hands to heart center as we fold. We find that halfway lift. Step or jump those feet back, high to low. Cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Right leg lifts. One more time, warrior 1. We ride that breath up and hands release. Right leg back, high to low. Cobra or up dog. Downward dog, exhale. Left leg lifts. Lightly step it forward, your warrior 1. Foundation with the feet, we rise. Maybe connect the soles of the palms. Then find your vinyasa. Take your time, high to low. Cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, pause and breathe. Steady breathing in and out through the nose. Shake out that head. Enjoying that breath, lifting through those sits bones. Let's take another inhale. Let it go. We bend the knees, step or hop to the top of the mat. Lifting halfway, fold forward, and drop into that chair. So lifting up those arms, spin those pinkies in. More weight into the heels. Let's lift all 10 toes. Then taking the toes back to the earth, just lift those heels a couple of inches, squeeze those knees together. And we'll drop the heels down. Beautiful. Can you lift those arms a little higher? And we'll take our hands to heart center as we fold. We find that halfway lift. Step or jump those feet back, high to low plank. Cobra or up dog. Downward dog, exhale. So we lift the right leg high. We find our warrior 1 and rise. Now hands behind the back body. Notice which thumb is on top. We lift our hearts. Now open up those thumbs so the palms are in the back of your thigh, and maybe allow those palms to go slide down the back of your thigh till you find that resistance. Our heart is lifted. Our face is soft, our breath is steady. Then lifting the head, crown of the head on the inside of that front foot. So keep that right knee tracking over the right ankle. We spin our hips towards the back of our mat, spreading the toes on that right foot, crown of the head, reaching towards the floor. Another full breath in here. Finish that exhalation and slowly ride that breath all the way upward, releasing the hands. And then we'll open into warrior 2. Drop into those hips, open up those collarbones, hug the muscles to the bones. We reverse our warrior, fanning those right ribs open. Now our hands cycle to the floor, left hand on the inside of the front foot. Find that easy twist. Right hand reaches high, steady breathing, reaching through that left heel. Can you straighten that left leg? Another breath in. Exhale, hand to the floor, right leg back. Pause in high plank for a moment. Just allow that right knee to brush to the floor, step it back. The left knee brushes towards the floor, then high to low plank. Cobra or up dog. Beautiful, downward dog, exhale. Our left leg lifts. Find our warrior 1. Ride that breath high. Hands behind the back body, opposite thumb on top. So the non-habitual way. So open up the thumbs. And so the palm is on the back of the right leg. Again, our heart is lifted, that breastbone up towards the sky. Soften the breath and just slide your hands down the back of your right thigh. Just take your time. It's not how far you go, it's finding the openings in the body. Take another breath in here. On an exhale, we lift the head. Now crown of the head on the inside of that front foot. So our hips blossom out. Steer them towards the back of the mat. Let go of your head. Track the left knee over the left ankle and draw the hands away from the back body. So imagine one day the crown of the head reaching towards the floor. You can always take a brick there, find maybe the connection of the crown of the head. One more inhale. Complete the exhalation. Your feet are the foundation, so root the feet down as you slowly come all the way up. Release the hands and we open into warrior two. Reverse on the inhalation, we fan those left ribs open. Now we cycle our hands to the floor, right hand on the inside of that left foot. Left hand reaches high. So you're reaching through that right heel. Left knee's tracking over that left ankle. Maybe drop that left hand a little deeper. Spin the chest up towards the sky. Beautiful. Nice work, everyone. Hand to the mat, left leg back. Hold your high plank. Fingers spread wide. Then just brush the right knee to the floor towards the thumbs. Then we take the left knee towards the thumbs. Nice. High to low plank. A cobra or up dog. And downward dog. Exhale. Pause and breathe. Slight bend in the knees. We press our chest closer towards our thighs. Enjoying that Ujjayi victorious breath. Keeping that cultivation of the breath, that equal inhalation and exhalation throughout the entire practice, no matter what posture we're doing. Let's sip in one more inhale. Complete that exhalation. We bend the knees, step or hop to the top of the mat, halfway lift, forward fold, drop into that chair position. Lift your arms, interlace those fingers. Let's spin the palms towards the front of our space. We find our Ardha Utkatasana. So that flat tabletop back body. So notice where your knees are. See if you can draw them back. You can see all of your toes. So again, lift all 10 toes here. Then we take our toes to the earth, energetically hug those knees in, lift those heels a couple of inches. Still spreading the palms and the sits bones in opposite directions. Then heels to the earth. Beautiful, hands through heart center as we fold. We find that halfway lift. Step or jump those feet back. Really nice, high to low. Cobra or upward dog, pause here for a moment. If you're an upward dog, tops of the feet root. You're engaging those leg muscles. Your thighs are off the floor. We open up the collarbones. Another breath in. Roll over the toes, downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Shake out that head. 3 breaths here. Again, cultivating that breath, warming up the body with our breath. One more inhale. Finish that exhalation. We bend the knees, step, hop, or jump to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, forward fold, drop into that chair position. Reach the arms up high. We spin those pinkies in. Then we bring our palms towards one another and our hands towards our heart center. Full breath in. Take that left elbow outside the right knee. Soles of the palms connect. That's it. We're going to gaze towards our toes. So you can find the ball of the left leg, or let's just hover that left foot a couple of inches off the mat. Nice. Take the foot back to the earth. 2 more times. Right foot is rooted. You can come just on the ball of that left foot or just hover a couple of inches that foot off the floor. Take it back to the mat. Last time. We lift that left leg and maybe step it back into that high lunge. Soles of the palms connect. You can drop that left knee to the earth. Just finding that beautiful twist in the lower ab. Maybe straightening through that left heel. Couple more breaths here. Find the stability in the posture, the foundation. Maybe splay your hands. Stay connected with that breath. If you spread your hands, just take the soles of the palms together. Everyone look at the right toes in one step. Left foot to the right, and then we find our chair position. Pinkies towards the earth, shoulders draw back into the sockets, then lift those arms a little higher. Beautiful. Then we connect the soles of our palms, bring them to our heart. Full breath in and twist in the other direction. So connecting, those elbows are in one line. Then we shift our gaze towards our toes. So that left foot is our foundation. You can come on the ball of the right leg, maybe finding the balance here, or just hover that right foot a couple inches off the floor. Take it back to the mat. Find that breath. Round number 2, that right foot hovers. You lift it just a couple of inches. It's easy to lift it high. Lift it low. Take the foot back on the floor. Nice. So our last round here, the right foot comes a couple of inches off the mat. Maybe step it to the back of your space, or that right knee to the earth. I'll take the modification this side. Soles of the palms connect. Find that beautiful twist. Maybe spin your eyes up towards the ceiling. You can splay those hands. Engage that core. One more breath in. Gaze towards that left foot. Step the right foot to the left. Release the hands. Find that last time into our chair pose. Hands to heart center as we fold. Split those feet hips distance apart. We'll find our peace fingers around the big toes. Halfway lift. Crown of the head towards the floor. Soften those knees. Draw the shoulders away from your ears. Finding that breath. Slow everything down. Take your time. Take your shoulders away from your ears. Free up your head space. Another inhale. Complete that exhalation. We find that halfway lift. Now sliding those hands underneath your feet, Padahastasana, or gorilla pose. Yes, thank you, Bill. We find that halfway lift. Elbows out to the side, crown of the head towards the floor. So take more weight into the balls of the feet by bending those knees slightly. And imagine your sits bones are blossoming open. So they're pulling apart, engaging that pelvic floor. Navel is engaged in and up towards the spine. One more full inhalation. Complete that exhalation. We'll release our hands, finding our way into a squat or Bakasana. Maybe Stacy can show us Bakasana, crow position. Or we just get a beautiful smile. So if you have or both. We can see her smiling in Bakasana. Beautiful. Big toes touch. Engage that core. Straighten through those arms. For 3, 2, Stacey's going to kick back. We'll all kick back. High plank. Nice to low. A cobra or upward dog. Downward dog. Exhale. And let's find our child's pose. First half of the class. Just let it all go. Just surrendering to the earth. And we didn't dedicate or set an intention for our practice this morning, but the poem I started with, or the quote I started at the beginning of class is really to honor and just recognize this Earth Week, how important it is to care for our planet. So just surrendering to the earth here, maybe whisper some gratitude to this beautiful, crazy blue marble that we live on. One more inhale. Finish that exhalation. We're slowly transition onto our forearms, setting up for our dolphins. So 2 options with our hands. You can interlace your fingers or hands splayed wide, forearms to the floor. We tuck our toes under, lift those sits bones, and just walk those toes towards your elbows. So finding this great shoulder engagement here, rooting through the forearms. After a few breaths here, maybe you can walk those toes a little closer towards those elbows, or take those toes into a center line, and you can extend a leg up towards the sky. Maybe find some little hops, or just stay here. Find that breath. We'll lower that right leg down. And inhale the opposite leg high. Maybe just lift that heel a little higher, or explore some hops. And then we lower that left leg down. Keep the forearms where they are. We're just going to walk our toes back, finding our forearm plank here. We'll be here maybe 15 seconds. So notice if that bottom is lifted, you want that line of energy from your heels out through the crown of the head, rooting through the forearms. Navel is engaged. Take another breath in here. Complete that exhalation. Gaze towards the back of the mat and walk those toes towards your elbows again. Notice if they splayed apart. You want to keep the body safe, elbows directly underneath those shoulders. Maybe explore taking the bind. Just notice what that does, how you feel it in the body. We're all our own explorers on our mat here. Every day is different. Just honoring where you are. So you find that resistance, back up a little bit, find that breath, gaze towards the back of the mat. Beautiful posture right here. Or again, maybe explore a leg up towards the sky, a hop into a forearm balance for some of you. We can lower that right leg down, left leg lifts, pointing through the toes, exploring your balance. And we'll lower that left leg down. One more time, walk those toes towards the back of the mat. We're going to hold our forearm plank here. 15 to 20 seconds. Notice if that bottom is lifted. We want that gorgeous line of energy out from the heels through the crown of the head. Root through those forearms, lift the back body. Breathing, slow it down. Equal inhalation as your exhalation. Last 2 breaths. A little shaking going on. Last full inhale. Beautiful. Let's find a child's pose one more time. Knees splay wide. Forehead to the floor. Surrender, melt that heart. Hips towards your heels. Just snuggle down, let go. And working on that equal inhalation and exhalation. Can take your hands behind, maybe find your heels with your hands. Give your feet a little massage here. And we'll move our forehead side to side on the floor, letting go of any tension in the head or neck. And then release your hands in front of you. We'll come on to our hands and knees, toes tucked under, lift those sits bones, walk the feet to the heel of your hands, heel toe those feet together. Let's unwind the spine. Take your time. Head is heavy. We'll open up those shoulders. And let's change direction, rolling those shoulders forward. And we'll come onto the top of the right foot. Toenails on the floor. We'll just open up that right ankle. Moving the fascia in the feet. And we'll take the other side. So left toes to the floor, some ankle rolls in one direction. And we'll change direction. Beautiful. Big toes touch, hands on your knees. And now we'll just rotate our knees 3 or 4 times in one direction. And then we'll change direction. And then pause here, finding that chair pose again. Arms reach up high, tail tucks under, drop those hips a little deeper. We'll take that right elbow underneath the left. Wrapping those arms, weight into that left foot, right thigh up and over, maybe finding the bind. Spin those knees towards the center, drop those hips, and let's lift those elbows. So feeling that constraint in the back of your heart where the shoulder blades are, see if you can soften those shoulder blades down the back and press your forearms towards the front of the space. An option to stay here, or we're going to pulse our elbows towards our knees for 5 times. Elbows towards the knees, then we lift. 4 more, we're moving with our breath. Take your time, eyes high. 3 more. Maybe the elbows and knees can connect. Last 2. We're still breathing. Beautiful. Last one here. Elbows maybe touch. We lift and then unwrap that right leg, Virabhadrasana 3. So lifting that right leg, hip height. Steady breath, slow it down. Those left toes are spread wide. One more inhale. Complete the exhalation, then we slowly wrap that right thigh up and over. Pause here for 1 breath. Beautiful. Let's release everything. Arms reach up high. We bring the hands to our heart center, Samastitihi. Chair pose. Fingers brush the floor. We lift our hearts and take the left elbow underneath the right. Beautiful. So weight into that right foot. Lift that left thigh, and then wrap the leg up and over. Maybe find the bind with that left foot behind the right calf. So again, maybe feeling that tightness in your shoulders or in the shoulder blades area. See if you can manually send your breath there. Lift those elbows a little higher. Connect with your core. Your eyes you're using your peripheral vision. Your hands are in your face. Just soft eye gaze. And we'll have those 5 pulses. Elbows towards your knees, or just stay static where you are. Use that core to lift. Take your time. Find that resistance. Breathe. With control, you lift. 3 more. Maybe the elbows and knees connect. We're breathing. Maybe putting a smile to the face, softening your facade. Last time, elbows towards your knees. We'll lift. Stay here or find Virabhadrasana 3 with eagle arms. So that right foot is your foundation. The left toes, try not to clock Bill here. Left leg is lifted, the height of your hips.
Hip height.
Upward dog in the chest. Breathing here, take your time. Then we'll slowly take that wrap. Left thigh up and over. Pause here for just one breath. We let everything go. Arms reach up. We bring our hands to our heart center, Samastitihi. Pause and breathe. Slow everything down. We're going to release our hands and take your feet, take your legs distance apart. So we'll reach our arms up and over, find right elbow with your left hand. Big breath in and hinge from those hips. Take the weight more into the balls of the feet. A beautiful spine. Crown of the head towards the floor. Again, just let all of those judgments, thoughts, planning, everything that's going on, let those release out of the head. Relax your face. Find that breath. Then keep the feet rooted. Use that core, come all the way up. Beautiful. We'll release the arm and just take that right arm across the body. Soften the shoulder away from the ear. Nice. And we'll release our hands. Other side. Big breath in. A deep bend in that left elbow. Draw those floating ribs back into the body. Navel is engaged. Slight bend in the knees. Hinge forward. A beautiful long spine. Our toes are spread wide. Notice if they're gripping. See if you can soften the toes. And then just imagine that your knees are lifted. So you're engaging those quadriceps, opening up the hamstrings. Another full inhale. We complete that exhalation. Foundation with the feet. Use that core to rise. Nice. We release that left hand across the body. Left shoulder softens. Steady breathing. And we'll release our hands. Heel toe those feet together. Full breath in. And forward fold. Uttanasana. Halfway lift. Step or jump those feet back. High to low plank. Cobra or upward dog. Downward dog. Exhale. We lift that right leg high and step it forward into a low lunge. Left knee on the earth, untuck the toes, melt into those hips. Right knee is reaching over the right ankle. And let's just lift our arms up high and we'll cactus those hands out. Our heart is lifted. Find that breath. Then release the hands on either side of the foot and draw those hips back. Flex those right toes. That left shin is rooted. Feel all 5 toenails of the left foot. A long spine. And a deep bend in that right knee again. Let's lift our arms and cactus them out to the side. Our heart is broad, it's opening. Eyes maybe up towards the sky. And then we'll lower our hands outside that front foot. Draw the hips back again. Flex the right toes. Maybe use that left hand on the outside of the right foot. Imagine your chin is reaching towards that right shin. Keeping those hips over the knee, a long spine. Then another deep bend in that right knee, staying in this hurdle stretch or working into Hanumanasana. So we walk those right toes forward. Maybe find the full version of the split. Find that breath. Slow everything down. 2 more breaths. Last full inhale. Finish that exhalation. We tuck those left toes under. In one breath, we lift that right leg high and shake it out. Downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Shake out that head. Left leg lifts. We step it forward into a low lunge. Right knee on the earth, untuck the toes, melt into those hips. That left knee is tracking over the left ankle. You reach your arms up, and we'll cactus those hands out to the side, melt through the heart, squeeze those shoulder blades. Can you find a little deeper bend in that left knee? Beautiful. Release the hands. We'll draw the hips back. Keeping those hips over the knees, flex the left toes. Feeling that calf stretch, the deeper the toes are reaching towards the forehead, or imagine your chin is reaching towards that left shin. Steady breath. Your foundation in this posture is that right shin rooting you. That's keeping you stable. Now a deep bend in that left knee. Melt into those hips. Stay supported, or again, we'll lift our arms and cactus them out to the side. Lifting from the sternum, your breastbone. And we'll release our hands. We'll draw the hips back, flex those toes. Maybe use that right hand to encourage those toes. So notice I have the tendency to lean back towards my heel. You want to stack the hip over the knee, feeling that great hamstring stretch. Prepping us for Hanumanasana on the other side. So a nice deep bend, stay supported here in that hurdle stretch. Maybe walk those toes a little further, or find your full expression of the posture. You find the scissor action in the hips. I'm manually in my body drawing that left hip back. Soften through the shoulders. Slow everything down. One more inhale. We finish the exhalation, toes tuck under. In one breath, we lift that left leg high, shake it out, lower the leg down, and we'll cycle through a vinyasa, high to low, cobra or up dog, downward dog, exhale. We inhale to high plank, drop the knees to the earth, and let's walk our hands up our thighs, working on Ustrasana, camel pose. So hand support on that lower back. Again, find the connection of the shins, all 10 toenails that are part of your foundation here. We squeeze those elbows in, lift the heart. Eyes are bright, maybe up towards the sky. Stay supporting this lower back, or maybe explore a little deeper, reaching for the heels. We press our hips towards the front of your space, soften through the head and neck. Find that rhythmic breath in and out through the nose. 2 more breaths. Another full inhale. Complete that exhalation. If you reach for your heels, bring your hands on your hips. We come all the way up. Toes tuck under. Let's drop our bottom towards our heels. Interlace the fingers. And let's find that figure 8. So really opening up the arches of the feet here. You're spreading those toes wide. And change direction with your figure 8. Much harder on this side. Shake out that extra energy. And one more wrist opener, keeping your hips on your heels. We just spin our fingers towards our knees. Our shoulders will draw up towards our ears, so soften them away. Breathe into those wrists. It's great for any carpal tunnel issues. One more inhale. Let it go. Just take the backs of your hands for a quick breath. We'll release them. Tap the tops of the feet away. Root from the shins. And one more Ustrasana, camel pose. So hands on the hips. Find the foundation in this posture. Root through the shins, the tops of the feet. hug those elbows in, engage that core. So the hips are bumping towards the front of our mat. Imagine our chest is lifting up and over that imaginary beach ball. Find that breath. If you're holding your breath, back out of the posture some. Maybe go a little deeper. 3 more breaths. Last 2. And on 1, we come all the way up. Beautiful. Release your hands to the mat. We'll cross our ankles. Roll onto your spine. So if you have a brick or a book close by, you'll want to grab that, but let's just take a quick mini shavasana before we go towards the calming down, the slowing down of the practice. So spin the palms up towards the sky, and we'll start by just rotating our head side to side, just moving down the body, relax the shoulders, allow the belly to be soft, just weaving down through the thighs now, the calves, the front of the legs, out through the toes. And we'll bend our knees. We'll take a brick or a book, or you can do these ab exercises without anything here. You can support underneath those hips. So squeeze that brick with your ankles. You want to straighten through those legs. And you can slowly lower the heels down. You're going to reach the arms up overhead. Then you draw everything back to center. Reach for the brick. Now heels hover. The brick above your head just hovers right above the mat. Beautiful. Inhale. We breathe and squeeze. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exchange for the brick and slowly hover those heels a few inches above the mat. So we'll take 4 more. Move with that breath. Straighten through those legs if possible. Breathing here. Squeezing when you find that brick between your ankles. It engages the core. We're moving from stability, the power center of our body. Last 2. We hover. And last 1 here. Heels above the floor. I'm just going to squeeze the brick, slowly lower it all the way down. Release the brick. Nice. And let's hug those knees into our chest. Nice work, everyone. So give yourself a nice big squeeze. We'll take our hands on our knees and make circles in one direction. Steady breathing, changing the knees in the opposite direction. And then we'll extend our legs up. We lift our hips, finding our way into plow position. So toes up and over. We support our lower back. Not moving our head or neck in this posture. Stay here. Explore shoulder stand for some of you. Otherwise, in your plow position, breathing into that middle back. Again, can you connect the sensations of the toenails reaching for the floor? Relax your face. Breathe into the back body, finding openings in the back of our heart. And a few more breaths here. You can always say supported on those hips. And then we'll slowly squeeze those knees in towards our ears. And we slowly unwind that spine. Take your time. When those hips hit the floor, use the hands to support underneath. And then slowly lower those heels all the way to the floor. And we'll bend that right knee. Hug it into your chest. Left hand on the outside of the knee, draw it across the body, extend that right arm. Just wringing out the lower abs, the lower back. A mobile spine is a happy life. Just keeping our back healthy, mobile, agile. And the knee comes back into our chest. We extend that right leg and then hug that opposite left knee in. We draw it across the body, extend that left arm. That soft internal focus or soft eye gaze over the left shoulder. Another breath here. Let it go. And coming back to center. Keep your shins parallel to the floor, hands on your thighs. One last core exercise. Engage those muscles, so press your hands against your thighs against your hands, using the biggest muscles in your body. For 5, squeeze 4, squeeze 3, 2, let it all go on 1. Palms turn towards the top, towards the sky. Allow the body to soften, let go. Finding that next incoming breath. Audible exhale. One more inhale. Gently side out, make some noise. And we'll stretch our arms up. And stretching out through the toes. And then we'll find our way, curl up into that tiny ball of light. Pausing here for a breath or two. And staying there or finding your way to a comfortable seated position. Pause and breathe. And that same quote from David Attenborough. It seems to me that the natural world is the greatest source of excitement, the greatest source of visual beauty, the greatest source of intellectual interest. It is the greatest source for so much in life that it makes life worth living. So bringing your hands to your heart, bowing your forehead to the tips of your fingers, acknowledging your practice this morning. And I'm in appreciation of all of you to allow me to guide you through this practice. And finally, just giving some gratitude to our planet Earth, Earth Week. How can you give the planet a hug this week in your own way, however that shows up for you? And inviting you to join your voices to seal class off with one beautiful Om. Sip in the breath. Namaste.
Great stuff, folks. It's a good one.
Thank you for a free bird. We're all kind of free birds here.